Hi, I'm Tanya from Clarity Quest. We are starting day 2 of the Clarity Quest pre-holiday power-up. We are discussing environment and again, physical and energetic. I'm just going to be reading along with the booklet to make sure I don't miss anything. So I wanted to discuss something I've learned in my life that can apply to anyone on a self-quest journey. It's basically don't force life or clarity to happen. It's a process of realizations, nudges that can create shifts to compound over time. And forcing things in possibly the wrong direction will definitely not get you there faster. The necessary steps to shift your relationship with yourself and create your identity can achieve your desired outcome and can take time. And I just want to say here, I notice people tend to get nervous or shy away if they feel like something's going to take longer because really deep down, they're always looking for a shortcut to their problems. But the thing is, sometimes when you rush and you try to shortcut things, you're missing vital steps. You're missing alignment with possibly people you're supposed to work with. There's a bunch of things that are involved sometimes beyond yourself. So it's better not to rush it. This also requires birthing a new version of yourself because you're slowly leaving old, outdated versions of yourself that carry an identity that you no longer connect to because you're moving towards something that you're desiring. So at the same time, you're trying to better yourself to create that updated version. And that's basically what I'm trying to say there by birthing the new version. You're building the foundation for a new life and business. So, with this understanding and when it truly lands, this is where transformation actually starts to take hold. As you evolve, stepping into new versions of yourself, you'll find that growth happens more naturally while transmuting resistance and leaving the fear of uncertainty behind. The worst thing that you could possibly ever do is trap yourself in a single outdated identity. Growth requires expansion, and to create the life you desire, you have to move beyond what feels familiar. Definitely don't settle when you know you're meant for so much more and bigger things. And this is why we have to let go of things connected to the outdated version of ourselves. And is so very important. So anything that we're no longer connecting with, that we're basically trying to run away from, you also want to cut the cords on those habits that still connect to them. Because otherwise, it's like a tug of war. Your old self is pulling in one direction, your new self and the desired outcome you want is pulling in another direction. And the truth is, when this occurs, you just really don't get anywhere. All right, so day 2, we're continuing working with environment. This is for those who are avoiding bills and paperwork, and it seems like it may not be of any importance, but trust me, it is so very important. So we often don't realize how much paperwork and digital clutter in our lives is also emotional clutter. That's stackable bills, collection letters, unpaid tickets, full email inboxes, tax envelopes, and even the notes and journals from years ago that we wrote our worries, frustrations, and self-criticism. Each of these holds more than just numbers and words. They carry energy based on the emotional connection that one has to them. And the longer they sit around, the heavier that energy becomes. So basically, same as we spoke yesterday, when you have an emotional emotional reaction or just a feeling towards something, like it creates trip cords. And especially if you're trying to avoid something, it's not a good idea. So a trip cord is basically an energy deposit, a thought deposit. And the more and more it continues to happen, the more the trip cord gets stronger. And then every time you walk through this area, you're basically reminded of that problem. It continues to come up. So we just want to avoid that, but you can listen to day 1 to have a better understanding of that. So trip cords trigger feelings of stress, overwhelm, shame, and avoidance. And avoidance in this case is a very big problem. These papers are energetic triggers that set off internal chain reactions every time we see them. And the longer we avoid them, the more deeply ingrained these triggers become. These papers are not just reminders of things left undone, they are actually 100% holding you back. This avoidance doesn't just affect your physical space. It starts to drain, little friend visit. It starts to drain your mental and emotional energy too. And the longer these reminders of past mistakes or uncompleted tasks sit around, the stronger the energy builds around them. Okay, so this is just all around. We just need all of this out of the environment. Also too, I want to just make mention of this too, because I still feel it's important. So that feeling of stress of having these in your environment makes it harder to break the cycle, trapping you into your old self even longer when you desire change. So it is quite a trap, okay? The weight of it has real impact on your mindset, and it directly affects your ability to move forward in your business, career, and personal life. This energy is tied to shame, guilt, financial stress, and old mistakes, and it keeps you out of alignment as part of you is always trapped in worry in the past. And basically, what are we going to do? We're going to shred it. So any digital files that are no longer needed, obviously, delete it. Any paperwork that you can get rid of, we're going to shred it. And the kind of stuff I'm talking about is basically notice of assessments from government that has already been paid, or these papers are no longer needed. They need to be shredded and removed. Old bills, money owed, toll highways, whatever it is, anything that's requesting money, but it's already been a resolved matter. There's no reason to be keeping this paperwork in your house anymore. So what I would suggest is make some piles, get all your Visa statements, anything for credit card, anything for bank overdrafts, for example, anything regarded to tax related, separate them in piles. Make sure to communicate with these offices to make sure that all debts are cleared and everything has been completed. And especially anything like documents that are past a certain amount of years old that do not need to be in your house anymore, shred them all. You'll notice a huge difference in your environment. Your space will feel lifted. It'll feel much clearer. And that's basically that. So that ends day 2, and I will be posting day 3 shortly as well. So again, depending on your time zone, have a great morning or a great evening, and we'll touch base soon. Thanks.